Run.
What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Brand new movie on Hulu dropped today. It's called Run, directed by Anish Chaganty, who I think is an exciting and upcoming filmmaker. We're going to talk about this film. I need you in the comments down below. Did you enjoy it? Are you a fan of Sarah Paulson? If so, drop a thumbs up because Sarah Paulson is awesome. A homeschooled teenager begins to suspect her mother is keeping a dark secret from her. Anish Chaganty directed Searching, a movie that I thought was, I don't want to say underrated because everyone who saw it loved it, but I just don't think it was watched enough. It was an awesome movie. But this film is kind of going back to normal. We're not doing the entire thing via webcams and security cameras like that movie. This is a very simple story of a daughter who is starting to discover that something is not right with her situation. And what I'm going to do in this review, I'm going to keep it spoiler free, but I'm going to reference what we saw in the trailer. And what we saw is that Sarah Paulson's character is keeping something from her, but also doing something a bit sinister as a mother. Now, you could probably guess where this is going to go, and I think that's my one knock on this film, is the fact that it is predictable. And if I wanted to get into other criticisms, I could say it would have been nice to maybe throw in a couple of flashbacks here and there, give these characters a bit of backstory, because what we know is what we saw through this particular moment in their lives. We go from beginning to end, and we never really flesh them out, even though all we need to know from them is established with what we get from the plot. So I do like the fact that Chaganty said, you know what, we're not going to waste time with that. We're going to give you a very simple story, but it's effective because of the filmmaking, the way it's so compactly edited, and the building of intensity in this movie, especially when you look at Paulson's character and just this crazy, obsessed, very loving, but overly loving mother who is doing things because she loves her daughter. I do this because I love you, but clearly she's a bit messed up in the head. Now, when you start to discover why she's messed up, you're like, okay, still don't understand what you're doing, but at least we got something there. So I guess that is the character development we were looking for with her character. But with the daughter, Chloe, played by Kiera Allen, a lot rides on her shoulders to give a terrified performance, because once she starts making these discoveries about her mother, she has to be convincing to us as an audience. And she is absolutely convincing. And frankly, she's awesome in the movie, but she's also determined to get herself out of this situation. Her mother, who has always been one very specific way, she will never change her ways. And yes, she raised me, and yes, she clearly loves me to an insane degree, but I have to do everything I can to get out of this situation. But it's extremely difficult for her because of her physical situation that she's been put in. It is a story we've seen before, and that comes back to the predictability. You're probably going to be able to guess how this plays out. But there are some twists and turns along the way, and it did end in a way that I thought was extremely interesting, and one that I think is going to have a nice payoff for those who are invested in this story. So, intensity, really interesting filmmaking. I love what Chaganty was able to do with the camera. Yes, the performances are great, and that's what the story kind of relies on, but if you don't knock this out of the park on a technical and pretty much an editing level, well, then the movie's not going to work, because, again, the plot is so familiar. But the movie knows exactly what it is. It's simple. It's easy to understand, comprehend. You almost don't have to pay too much attention to know where it's going. It's one of the easier watches I've had in a while, but the execution is just so good, man. I had a great time, and I'd love to know your thoughts down below. I love a movie that knows exactly what it is, and that's what I think this film is. As for my score, I'm going an 80%, man, an 8 out of 10. It works. It works really, really well, and I think this is one that I could recommend to a lot of people, and it's on Hulu, one of the better Hulu originals this year for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy these reviews and you want to drop a thumbs up, that would be awesome. Stay tuned, because more reviews to come. I watched Mangrove on Amazon Prime. I'm thinking of watching Jiu-Jitsu. If you haven't seen that trailer, please go watch it. But more reviews to come this weekend for sure. And of course, my live stream on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate the early screener from Hulu for this movie, and I'll see you soon.